Okay, one of the things you'll notice about this aeroplane is a lot of the markings are in both Arabic and English, and that's because it was based in Oman. A few differences with the aeroplane. This aircraft had automatic direction finding for UHF, so it has these two whisker aerials which are for the ADF system. Coming around this side, most of it's very similar to a jet provost other than the markings, until you get down in under the intake area where there's a couple of scoops. And those scoops are actually the ejection units for the machine guns, which would have been mounted at this position here. So it had two 7.62 machine guns. Coming along the wing, obvious difference from the jet provost is we have two big hefty pylons. These are standard NATO pylons. These can hold the 500-pound bombs, they can hold fuel tanks, multiple uses, SNEB pods, lots of stuff on there. Coming out to the wing, very much like the JP5, it has a tip tank. There's big differences on the fuel system on this aircraft in that the fuel from the tip tank is at high pressure, and that's because we can carry underwing tanks, and so you have to be able to push that fuel into the wings. Coming around the back of the aeroplane, it is very much the same, except that simple things like the flap control system, much heavier duty than the jet provost. We can put flaps down at 175 knots, whereas a jet provost can't do it above 150. Coming around the back side here, you can see the unique registration of this aircraft. This particular aircraft, this military serial number is 425. The build serial number from BAE is also 425. At the back end then we have the Omani crest on the tail. Otherwise, the back end is very similar until you get right round to the jet pipe, where you find our unique airshow feature, which is our smoke nozzles. And this is where the smoke oil comes out into the hot jet exhaust to produce the white smoke. Unlike the Reds, we don't use coloured dyes. Coming up around this side then, it's much the same as on the other side. Standing here, looking underneath the aeroplane though, you can see there's a big long silver aerial, and that's the NDB aerial, a navigation feature, not fitted to any jet provost. Obviously, for the emergency first aid kit, they don't use crosses in the Arabic world, they use the red crescent, so that's what the marking on the side is there for. You can see lots of differences between the jet provost and the Strikemaster, and a huge number of similarities. So the differences for the Strikemaster is we have all the weapon switchery down here, which the jet provost doesn't have. A few minor civil modifications we've got. We've got electronic flight instrument there as a backup instrument, Mode S transponder, which is required these days, and up on the top here a GPS navigation communication system, which makes it very easy to fly anywhere. Other than that, the central instrument panel is very similar to a jet provost. Most of the rest of it, the flying controls, the throttles and all the rest of it are identical to the jet provost, other than when you get to the stick top. So the stick top has the weapon switchery on it, and the all important one is that button there, which is for the smoke.